What does it mean to have a transformational conversation? Is there a definition of what that actually is?
Well, there are lots of definitions and most of them have got lots of words in. But if I give you the baking definition of transformation, somebody comes into a conversation and when they go away, they've had some change happen that can't be undone.
I love that.
So think baking. So if you put all the ingredients of a cake into a tin, you apply heat, and then you can't unmake a cake. Mm-hmm. So transformation is change that you can't unmake.
I'm going to steal that definition. Is that yours? Because I'll have to credit you.
Yes, it's
in
my
the future.
very own. You can have it. Just use my name.
Yep, I will, genuinely, because there's a lot of lip service that's given in the sales training industry, in the B2B sales training industry specifically, of we should all be consultants, we should all be having transformational conversations. But when you add that extra layer on top of you have a conversation with the buyer, you have a consultative call, whatever it is, and they walk away and they can't be unchanged, that removes a lot of this potential lip service. Because it's very definite. We're not saying here we're going to get on a call. We've got a product service to sell clearly, but we're not trying to just squeeze it in the best we can. We're trying to leave the buyer in a better place than when we started engaging with them. Is that fair to say?
Yeah, completely. So can I tell you a story?
Of course, yeah.
So you know that point in your life when you come to buying your first new car.
Mm-hmm.
So when I came to the point in my life of buying my first new car and everything had been secondhand, the most exciting thing was that I could choose its colour. So it had to be red because I had decided I wanted a red car. Yep. And then we wanted some version of a super mini, small to medium sized car. So we went round every distributor in our town and there were 5 retail garages in our town. So everyone you go to, they say, the special thing about my car is that it's got, and then they start talking a language I don't understand. And you think, well, I don't know what you're talking about. So by the time we got to the 4th one, I'd lost the will to live. By then, I just wanted a red car. And I knew that the Citroen had the doodah in the middle and that others of them had the doodah in different places, and that they had 4 doors and 4 wheels. And we decided which car we were going to buy. And then on a cold bank holiday, rainy day, my husband goes to me, but we haven't tried the Honda. And I'm going, I don't want to test drive another car. Mm-hmm. So we arrive at the Honda garage and we go in and you couldn't be outside because it was that English bucket rain. And we went in and the salesman came over and he said, I think I had my don't mess with me face on. He said, do you have any questions? That was his first question. And I said, yes, why should I buy your car? What's different about this? And he went, it has magic seats. So, you see, I can still remember. Yeah, that car's now on a scrap heap. It's so old. But he said, it has magic seats. So I'm going, oh, tell me about magic seats. And he told me what was different about his seats. And I started imagining the things that I could do with that car, which weren't the things that I was intending to buy it for. Mm-hmm. And we bought it. And I got paid 50 quid by Honda for advertising their car.
So does that class as a transformative conversation in that you went in with one expectation and then you left with almost different buying requirements on the back of the conversation itself?
I think it changed everything forever.
Yep.
And also, of course, I'd signed on the line by the time we left the garage.
Because I can I won't do it because I've been bashing BMW and Mini Leads many times over on this show because I've had the worst customer service I've ever had from them. So I won't go into the detail again. Regular listeners will know this. But I can juxtapose that story with, we went to buy a Mini, me and my partner, a few months ago now, and we couldn't even get a price out of the guy. He was that guarded and that untransformational that we went in, test drove it, couldn't get a price, left, and then immediately bought a Skoda. So this really matters, doesn't it?
Yeah, and I think the real question is, are we clear enough what we're doing in this conversation and how we're going to do it and how we're going to know we've done it? Because unless you've got that clear before you start, it's really difficult. So here's my other story. So we're in the middle of moving house, and it's been a little bit complicated, but we've bought a new build that is still being built. And we came to the decision we wanted to buy the new build without seeing the estate or anything. We'd just seen their model of house somewhere else. So I rang up the saleswoman and I said, and I made it clear what we were doing. So she didn't give me everything else. I said, I need you to do 2 things for me. And if you do those 2 things, then I'll either make an offer or not make an offer on this house. But I guess that assertiveness comes from what I know about good conversations.
Sure.
So I said, I want you to go to the plot. I want you to stand with your back to the house and take a photograph forwards. Then I want you to turn around and take a photograph the other way. And if I like what I see, you'll get an offer. So she WhatsApped me these 2 photos. And then I went, okay, we're offering this much money. And she came back, she said, really clear, pleased you're making an offer. Don't normally do house sales by WhatsApp message. But what was clear was what needed to happen in that conversation in order for us to buy. And if she'd started with her, this estate has been being planned for 20 years and it's got 116 houses on it, I'd have lost the plot and not bought it.